Have you ever wanted to step foot inside a classic Universal Monsters movie? You will soon get your chance at Dark Universe, the new horror-themed land coming to Universal's Epic Universe in Orlando, Florida. Let's discuss. Epic Universe, the brand new Universal theme park that will be a separate location from the existing Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure theme parks, opens on May 22nd, 2025. There will be 5 brand new lands with loads of new attractions, shops, and things to do. This is part 1 of my series on Epic Universe, and today I am focusing on perhaps my most anticipated land, and that is Dark Universe. A quick note for you fellow film buffs. Dark Universe was indeed also the name of a planned series of classic monsters film developed by Universal Pictures in the late 2010s. I'll keep this short. This was supposed to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe style reboot of the Universal classic monsters that started and stopped after The Mummy starring Tom Cruise underperformed both critically and commercially back in 2017. With the announcement of Epic Universe, the theme park that I'm discussing today, Universal recycled the name for its new land. On to the land itself. Dark Universe will be home to the legendary Universal monsters. Think Dracula, the Wolfman, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the monster, also known as Frankenstein, with a new spin. The land is technically called the Village of Darkmoor, where Dr. Victoria Frankenstein, the great-granddaughter of Dr. Frankenstein, has taken over the famous manor and is experimenting and trying to capture all the classic monsters that inhabit the land. That's what leads us to the first and most thrilling ride, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. On Monsters Unchained, guests will be taken inside Frankenstein Manor on a ride where the monsters eventually revolt. Led by Dracula, of course, the monsters rage in an attempt to escape the manor, and we will be caught up in it as they chase us around the manor. There will be 14 animated figures, basically audio animatronics, but this is Universal speak. These are claimed by Universal to be the most advanced animated figures ever made by Universal. Those confirmed include Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Brides of Dracula, and the Phantom of the Opera. The ride looks similar to the existing Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey attraction, and looks to be a romp where, among other things, we will get to see the Phantom of the Opera's organ shoot flames apparently over 3 feet high as the music plays. What we know so far, the height requirement is 48 inches, and the ride will include motion simulation. For now, the ride is included with the Universal Express Pass. That's something to keep in mind if you're visiting during those early days and want to guarantee yourself a quick ride without too long of a wait. This is billed as one of the scariest rides that Universal has ever created. This one looks to be really intense, with technology making you feel as if you are right there within inches of these monsters as they rage and chase you around as you try to escape the manor. To say that I'm excited for this ride would be an understatement. In fact, I think my excitement for this is even higher than the Harry Potter attractions, which I will talk about in a different video. Moving on, the other ride, so there's 2 attractions in this land. That was the first, Monsters Unleashed. The second is Curse of the Werewolf. This is inspired, perhaps unsurprisingly, by the Wolfman film. This is a more family-friendly spinning roller coaster that will take you through a dark forest where werewolves are ready to attack. At the entrance, Maleva, the leader of the Guild of Mystics, will warn of all the creatures that are waiting for you in the forest and will inform you, us guests, that we are in fact cursed by the werewolf. Then we go on through the ride. We're going to go through the armory, see lots of really fun things, but mostly it's going to be an outdoor ride, something to consider if the weather does get bad eventually, something to think about. The Curse of the Werewolf is going to be over 2 minutes long, so pretty long. It is going to go up to 37 miles per hour, so not too fast. That's why I said family friendly earlier. And it has a 40-inch height requirement. As of right now, similar to Monsters Unleashed, it is included as an option with the Universal Express Pass. Moving on to food, there's going to be several unique food options in Dark Universe. The first is Das Steakhouse. This is a fast casual restaurant themed to vampire culture, which is really exciting to me. This is going to have artifacts and artworks all about the vampires, and it's going to be told through the vampire's point of view. So basically be a very pro-vampire look at history, the dark universe, so to speak. And I think that's going to be a really exciting spin. I think they're going to really roll with this theme about how vampires sort of are, powerful and in control. For example, even the staff people are going to be a character. Essentially, they're going to be servants doing the bidding of vampires in hopes of one day becoming immortals themselves. I think this is going to be a unique opportunity for there to be some fun interactions and fun little bit of theming beyond just the food and the decor when we're eating at Das Steakhouse. Moving on, the Burning Tavern, which is probably getting the most excitement, I think, based off of the coverage that I've seen so far. The Burning Tavern is a massive quick service dining location, and it's themed to look like an old mill in Darkmoor Village. Again, that is the name of the land within the land called Dark Universe. Just roll with it. Transformed by monster hunters into a fun hangout for monster hunters, expect wings, burgers, bratwurst, pretzels, and all types of specialty beverages. Most exciting is the large windmill above the tavern that from far away or for close-up, you'll be able to see real flames that ignite twice every single hour. So I think what's cool about that is sort of like the dragon atop Gringotts at Universal Studios, or like I said already, at the existing Universal Studios Orlando, how people kind of wait for those flames to happen. I think we're going to see the same thing happen here, but I think that they're indicating that you may be able to see the flames bursting even from other lands at Epic Universe. So that's something to stay tuned about to see if that's actually a thing. Moving on, DeLacy's Cottage. This is going to be another smaller quick service location offering themed treats and whatnot. And if you notice, it is themed to the place where Frankenstein's monster receives sustenance and friendship. All right, that's all for the food. Let's move on to the shops. The first, Pretorius' Scientific Oddities. This is going to be a curious shop featuring all things Dark Universe, oddities, souvenirs, and based off the pictures and the size, I think it's going to be the main gift shop at this location. So I'm really excited to see what unique Dark Universe items are there and whether there's going to be any theme park exclusive merchandise at this shop. Two other shops are going to be located inside Dark Universe. The first is the Guild of Mystics. These are actually wagons that are set up, I think, around Curse of the Werewolf. I'll have to confirm that location, but it appears as if so. That's going to have werewolf-inspired merchandise. I'm not quite sure if they're going to have other merchandise or if it's going to be just to the Wolfman. Second, or third, I guess, is going to be the Manor Storehouse. And this is going to be, perhaps unsurprisingly, in Frankenstein Manor. Likely, in my opinion, when you exit the roller coaster, you know, lots of these attractions will sort of make you exit through the gift shop. I think this is going to be the exact same thing. And it's probably going to be heavy on the, you know, Dr. Frankenstein and the monster, but I think there's going to be more different types of merchandise that you can get with all the other monsters. All right, moving on. There's a couple of other really exciting things that are going to be unique to this land. The first is the Darkmoor Monster Makeup Experience. This is going to allow you, perhaps unsurprisingly, to get all dressed up and made up, essentially, to look like one of the monsters or perhaps a unique creation of your own selection when you are visiting Dark Universe. I think this is an interesting proposition because ostensibly people are going to visit Dark Universe and the other Epic Universe lands. So it'll be kind of funny to see how that looks. People dressed up as monsters, say, in the Harry Potter land or Super Nintendo world. But, you know, obviously to each their own. It's a great option. It seems really exciting. However, I did look this up online on the Universal website and in the app. And I think you have to book in advance. I could be wrong, but at least you have the option to. And it's a little bit high. It's $169 per person as of me uploading this video. So something to keep in mind when you're budgeting for the trip. Let's say you have tickets and then you're ready about your express pass and food and souvenirs. That's another thing to add, but it does seem really exciting. I just think you all should have a heads up. Also, this is for guests aged 5 and up, so the littlest ones won't be able to partake. The other unique experience is going to be characters, and perhaps unsurprisingly, there will be some unique character experiences here, and of course they're going to be classic monsters themed. Who we have confirmed so far is Frankenstein's monster, the bride, and a couple of new characters. There's a monster hunter. I don't know if we have the name for that just yet, and also a musician. So be on the lookout. Those are the confirmed ones. And perhaps most exciting is the Invisible Man. And I've heard some rumblings online of people who have met the Invisible Man, but they haven't provided more details about that. So I'm intrigued on what that looks like, and also whether these characters are kind of going to be scary. You know, I think about how the villains, I guess the Evil Queen and other villains that meet at Disney, you know, there's sort of a playful villain type, you know, interaction that goes on there that people really enjoy. Is this going to be like that or actually a little bit scarier? Only time will tell. All right, my thoughts. Dark Universe makes sense for 3 obvious reasons. 1, these are legendary characters from iconic Hollywood films that remain popular all of these years later. I mean, I'm a huge fan of horror, and I think a lot of it can be attributed to the films and the imagery and sort of the resulting impact of these classical universe characters. This land is going to achieve 2 aims, appealing to fans like myself of old Hollywood and horror who can't wait to step foot into one of these worlds, and also reeling in new fans who can discover these classical films through their experience at this land in the theme park. I think that is just a unique opportunity for Universal to really reignite interest in these characters and let longtime fans also enjoy at the same time. Second, horror movies and novels are more popular than ever, including at the movie theater. We're seeing lots of horror films do well on relatively low budgets and maintain sort of an avid, you know, following for horror fans. Side note, I have written my own horror novel, sort of a horror thriller combination that is really exciting, and I'm looking to get that published perhaps traditionally, I'm not sure, in the near future, so stay on the lookout for that as I worked to try to find the time to get that book out in the world. Anyway, Hollywood Horror Nights, that's the seasonal after-hours Halloween-themed event at the existing Universal Studios. This seems to grow in popularity every year. Dark Universe will offer year-round horror-themed fun for horror buffs and will likely host even more fun and hopefully terrifying experiences during the Halloween season. So I think we should look out for that, especially this first Halloween season. And finally, the third reason. These are characters and attractions that are based on uniquely Universal properties, drawing in guests to Epic Universe for one-of-a-kind experiences that are wholly Universal. This is something that Universal can tout not only as available at this theme park, but as something that guests have to do when they visit the Orlando area, meaning people that are coming to go to Disney World or for other experiences are going to likely carve out more time to do these unique things, the things at Dark Universe that they can only do at Universal's Epic Universe. So I think that is a really huge, unique marketing opportunity for this theme park and Universal as a whole. All right, that was a lot of information. Are you excited yet? Obviously I am, but I want to hear your thoughts about Dark Universe. Are you a fan of how they included classical monsters and integrated them with a new land and a new storyline? Are you going to be going on opening day or sometime thereafter? What ride are you most excited for? I want to hear everything and all of your thoughts as we lead up and count down to the opening of this brand new theme park. And stay tuned. In part 2 of my series, I will be talking all about the new Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic land coming to Epic Universe. Thanks for watching and consider subscribing.